Hi students, hope you and your family are fine at home. In today's class, I am going to explain about ogives, the last topic in statistics. The graphical representation of cumulative frequency distribution is called ogive, O-G-I-V-E, also called as cumulative frequency curve. We know the importance of representing data in the form of a graph and the two types of cumulative frequency distributions. Yes, if we represent these cumulative frequency distributions on a graph, the graph is given a special name called ogive. There are two types of ogives, namely less than ogive and more than ogive. As there are two types of cumulative frequency distributions, there are two types of ogives also. The graphical representation of less than cumulative frequency distribution is called as less than ogive, and that of more than cumulative frequency distribution is called as more than ogive. To draw ogives, class intervals must be continuous. Let us understand this by taking a problem. The following distribution gives the daily income of 50 workers of a factory, and this is the distribution given to us. Convert the above distribution to a less than type cumulative frequency distribution and draw its ogive. That means we have to construct less than type cumulative frequency distribution and we have to represent this on a graph which is called as ogive. Before constructing any type of cumulative frequency distribution, make sure the classes given are continuous. Here the given classes are continuous as the upper limit of every class interval is equal to lower limit of the next class interval. Here for the first class interval upper limit is 120, the next class interval lower limit is 120, both are equal. For this second class interval upper limit is 140, the next class interval lower limit is 140, both are same. As this is true for all the classes, we can conclude that the given classes are continuous. Now we will construct less than type cumulative frequency distribution for this data. This is less than type cumulative frequency distribution for the given data, which includes 4 columns. Among those, first column will take class intervals, second column will take respective frequencies, in third column below upper limits, and in the fourth column less than cumulative frequency. As the class intervals are continuous, we already concluded that copy the class intervals as they are in the first column. If the class intervals are not continuous, convert the discontinuous classes into continuous form, then copy in the first column. Write the respective frequencies in the second column. Now you have to take below upper limit. For the first class interval upper limit is 120, that's why you will get below 120. For the second class interval upper limit is 140, that's why below 140. Similarly, we will get below 160, below 180, below 200. Now we will find less than cumulative frequencies. The less than cumulative frequency of any class is equal to sum of its frequency and frequencies of all its preceding classes. For example, I want to calculate less than cumulative frequency of 140, 160. To find this, we have to find the sum of its frequency, that is 8, and the frequencies of all its preceding classes. Now for 140, 160, there are two preceding classes. They are 100, 120 and 120, 140. I have to find sum of frequency of 140, 160, that is 8, and the frequencies of all its preceding classes. They are nothing but 12, 14. Therefore, to find cumulative frequency of 140, 160, I have to add all these 3. 12 plus 14 plus 8 will get 34. That is the cumulative frequency of 140, 160. Suppose to find cumulative frequency of 112T, 140, I have to add these two, 12 plus 14, which is 26. But as for the first class interval, as there is no preceding class for this, simply cumulative frequency of first class interval is nothing but its frequency. That's why copy it forward. And this can be calculated in this manner also. Just copy the frequency of first class interval in LCF as both are equal. And to find the cumulative frequency of second class interval, add these two, 12 plus 14, you will get 26. And add 26 plus 8, you will get 34. 34 plus 6 will get 40. 40 plus 10 will get 50. In this way, we can calculate the respective less than cumulative frequencies. Now, this is the less than type cumulative frequency distribution table. We can represent this on a graph. Now, take upper class limits on x-axis and the respective cumulative frequencies on y-axis and plot the points 120 12, 140 26, 160 34, 180 40 and 200 50, and you have to plot these points on a graph. Let me explain how we got these points first. Just observe the x coordinates of points 120, 140, 160, 180 and 200. These are nothing but the upper limits which we have taken in the first column, third column. And if we observe the respective y coordinates, okay, 12, 26, 34, 40 and 50. These are nothing but the cumulative frequencies which we got in third column. Therefore, by using the upper limits and the respective cumulative frequencies, we can get these points. Now, by taking suitable scale on both the axes, we'll plot these points on a graph. And this is the graph. So the scale what I have taken is on x-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 20 rupees, and on y-axis 1 centimeter is taken as 5 workers. If you observe the values on x-axis, you have, and this is the origin, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200 and so on. And similarly on y-axis you have taken 1 centimeter is equal to 5 workers. That's why 0, 5, 10, 15, so on. And before 120 we will have 100, 80, 60, which we don't require to represent in this graph. That's why there will be a kink here. Now we have to plot these points on the graph. Now first point is 120, 12, both are positive. All the points are positive. That's why we concentrate on only first coordinate. Now to plot 120, 12, start from origin, move 120 units towards right till 120, then 12 units upwards, 0 to 120, then 12 units upwards. That is 120, this point is. To plot 140, 26, from origin move to 140 and 26 units upwards. This is 140, 26. We know this process already. In the similar way, we can plot the remaining points on the graph and plot these. After plotting these points, join them with freehand, and we got a curve, a smooth curve. This curve is called as OG. In particular, less than OG. And if you observe this, this is a rising curve. Rising curve. It never falls. Less than OG is a rising curve always. Okay. In this way, we can construct less than OG for the given data. Therefore, what steps we followed here? We constructed less than cumulative frequency distribution. After constructing the distribution, we identified the respective points by using upper limits and cumulative frequencies. By taking suitable scale on both the axes, plot the points on the graph and join them with freehand, we will get the respective OG. Now what is less than OG? The freehand smooth curve on a graph obtained by plotting the upper limits of the class intervals on x-axis and their corresponding cumulative frequencies on the y-axis. Of course, choosing some convenient scale is called an OG of less than type. Very importantly, we should remember what we have taken on x-axis and what we have taken on y-axis. Now, in case of less than value, we have taken upper limits, whereas on y-axis we have taken the respective cumulative frequencies. Therefore, this type of curve is called as OSU of less than type or simply less than OSU. Less than OSU is a rising curve. Just now we have seen the previous example. It is a rising curve. Steps to draw less than OSU. Draw the axis. You will take upper limits along x-axis and cumulative frequencies on y-axis. Plot the points. The points are of the form u, cf. Here u is upper limit of a class and cf is cumulative frequency of the same class. And join these points with freehand. The smooth curve so obtained is the required less than OSU. Let's discuss one more problem. The following table gives production yield per hectare of wheat of 100 farms of a village. Production yield, this is given kg per hectare and the respective number of farms. This is the distribution given to us. This is a frequency distribution. Change the distribution to a more than type distribution and draw its OSU. Here we have to draw OSU of more than type distribution. That means the frequency distribution is given to us. For this distribution, we have to construct more than type distribution. Then for this, you have to draw the graph, which is our required OSU. Before constructing more than type distribution, whether it is more than type or less than type, you have to make sure the classes given are continuous. Here the classes given are continuous as the upper limit of each and every class is equal to the lower limit of its succeeding class. Therefore, as the class intervals are continuous, you can prepare the more than type distribution like this. And this is more than type distribution for the given data, which includes 4 columns: class interval, frequency, more than or equal to, lower limit, and GCF. In third column, we can take more than or equal to LL. LL is lower limit. This one simply you can write this as more than lower limit, more than LL. That is also fine. Now coming to first column, you have to take class intervals. As the class intervals are continuous, copy the class intervals in the respective column and write the respective frequencies under the column frequency. Now here more than or equal to lower limit, more than or equal to lower limit. I have to write the lower limits. For first class interval, 50 is the lower limit. Let's say copy 50 here. This is more than or equal to 50. This means more than or equal to 50. Now simply more than 50. The second class interval lower limit is 55. Copy 55 here. More than 55. This is 60. More than 60. 65 is the lower limit of this class. Therefore 65 copy here. Similarly, the remaining two also can copy. Simply third column used lower limits from the class intervals. You have to make use of lower limits from the class intervals. Now let's prepare greater than cumulative frequency for all the classes. The greater than cumulative frequency of any class is equal to the sum of its frequency and the frequencies of all its subsequent classes or succeeding classes. For example, the cumulative frequency, the greater than cumulative frequency of let me take this class 6570. I want to find the greater than cumulative frequency of the class 6570. Its greater than cumulative frequency is equal to the sum of its frequency, that is 24, and the frequencies of all its succeeding classes. 6570, it has two succeeding classes. They are 7075 and 7580. Their frequency are 38 and 16. Therefore, we have to find the sum of all these three frequencies to find greater than cumulative frequency of 6570. Okay. For example, let me take the class interval 6065. The greater than cumulative frequency of 60-65 is nothing but the sum of all these four frequencies. That is, sum of the frequency of 60-65 and frequencies of its succeeding classes. Succeeding classes. There are three succeeding classes for this. That's why you have to find the sum of all these four frequencies to find the respective greater than cumulative frequency. This can be calculated in an easy manner in the table. Okay, like this. Simply, the greater than cumulative frequency of first class interval is equal to its frequency. Both are equal as it has no succeeding classes. The frequency and greater than cumulative frequency for the class 75-80 is the same. That's why copy this one as it is. To find greater than cumulative frequency of 70-75, add these two, 38 plus 16, you will get 54. To find greater than cumulative frequency of 65-70, add these two, that is 24 plus 54. Frequency of that class and the cumulative frequency of its next class. That is 24 plus 54, you will get 78. Similarly, you get cumulative frequency of 60-65, add these two, 12 plus 78, you will get 90. Similarly, the remaining cumulative frequency will get like this, 8 plus 90, 98, and 2 plus 98, you will get 1. In this way, we can calculate the respective cumulative frequencies, greater than cumulative, in particular, greater than cumulative frequencies, you can calculate like this. Now, the more than type distribution we have prepared for this given data. Now, let us represent this more than type distribution on a graph. Now, take lower class limits on x-axis and respective frequencies, in particular cumulative frequencies on y-axis. Like how we are taken in case of less than OSU, the only difference is there we have taken upper class limits, whereas here we are taking lower class limits on x-axis and the respective cumulative frequencies. Here the respective cumulative frequencies are of more than type, of course, on y-axis, and plot these points on the graph. We have plot these points on the graph: 50, 100, 55, 98, 16, 90, 65, 78, 70, 54, 75, 16. These we should mark on the graph. If you observe the points, so we got the points is, if you observe the x coordinates of the points, they are 50, 55, 60, 65, 77. These are all nothing but the lower limits which are taken in the third column, lower limits of from the distribution. In the respective y coordinates, they are 100, okay, 98, 90, 78, 54, and 16. These are the respective cumulative frequencies. Therefore, by using lower limits and respective more than cumulative frequencies, we will get these points. X coordinate of all these points is equal to the lower limit, and the y coordinate is equal to the respective greater than cumulative frequency. Now, we'll plot all these things on a graph by taking suitable scale. Here the scale we have taken is on x-axis, 1 centimeter we are taken as 5 units. If you observe the graph, here the values on x-axis are 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. The difference between any two values is 5. That means on x-axis I have taken 1 centimeter is equal to 5 units. Whereas on y-axis I have taken 1 centimeter is equal to 10 units. You can see this 0, 10, 20, 30, so on till 110 we have. The maximum value we have is 100 only, but we can take till 110. Therefore, the scale we have taken. Then we will plot these points on the graph. To plot 50, 100, the point 50, 100, start from origin, move 50 units towards right, then 100 units upwards, this is 50, 100. Similarly, to plot 55, 98, the point 55, 98, start from origin again, move 55 units towards right and 98 units upwards. This is 98. approximately. Okay. Similarly, to plot 1690, start from origin, move 16 units towards right, then 90 units upwards. This is 1690. Similarly, you can plot the remaining points on the graph. Now you have to join all these points with freehand. You will get the graph in this way. Okay, this is the graph what we are getting. If you observe the graph, it is smooth curve and it is coming downwards. It is falling. It is a falling curve. We call this as a falling curve. And you can conclude more than OZ is a falling curve also. If in the problem, what we did is he has given a distribution to us and he asked us to construct more than OZ for the distribution. We prepared more than type distribution. From that we got some points by using lower limits and respective greater than cumulative frequencies. We plot these points on a graph by taking suitable scale. The graph so obtained is the required more than OZ. And very clear from the graph, more than OZ is a falling curve. You see steps wise, we have taken uh, lower limits on x-axis and cumulative frequencies on y-axis. Form the points, plot these points on the graph and join them. There are simple steps what you have followed in constructing more than OZ. Let's see what is the definition of more than OZ. Now, what is more than OZ? The freehand smooth curve obtained by plotting the lower limits of the class intervals on the x-axis and their corresponding cumulative frequencies on the y-axis, of course choosing some convenient scale, is called invasive of more than type. Therefore, here very importantly we have to remember what quantity you are taking on x-axis and what we are taking on y-axis. In case of OZ of more than type, we are taking lower limits on x-axis, whereas respective frequency cumulative frequencies on y-axis. And more than OZ is a falling curve. Just now we have seen in the previous problem. Steps to draw more than OZ. Draw the axis. Of course, anyway you have to represent. You have to prepare the cumulative frequency distribution table. Then what you have to do to construct OZ. You have to draw the axis. Take lower limits along x-axis and the respective cumulative frequencies on y-axis. Plot the points L, CF. L means lower limit of a class, whereas CF is equal to cumulative frequency of the same class. Join the above points with the freehand. The smooth curve so obtained is the required more than OZ. Just now we observed in the problem. These are the steps we followed to construct more than OZ. Let us do one more problem. Draw a less than OZ to represent the following frequency distribution: class interval and number of students. The class intervals are 0, 4, 5, 9, 10, 14, 15, 19, 20, 24. Clearly these are not continuous. Now to represent less than OZ or to construct less than OZ, we need to construct less than type cumulative frequency distribution. To construct any type of cumulative frequency distribution, we know classes should be continuous. But here the classes are not continuous. We have to convert them into continuous classes while constructing less than type cumulative frequency distribution. Therefore, this is less than type cumulative frequency distribution for the given data, which includes again 4 columns: class interval, frequency, below upper limit, and the respective less than cumulative frequency. And the classes are discontinuous. We converted them into continuous classes. And we know how to convert these classes. Simply add 0.5 to each upper limit. That is 4 plus 0.5, 4.5, 9 plus 0.5, 9.5, 14 plus 0.5, 14.5, 19 plus 0.5, 19.5, 24 plus 0.5, 24.5. That means we added 0.5 to each upper limit. Again same, subtract 0.5 from each lower limit. That is 0 minus 0.5 minus 0.5, 5 minus 0.5, 4.5. 10 minus 0.5, 9.5, similarly the remaining values also. Therefore, we have taken continuous classes for the given discontinuous classes. The second column, copy the respective frequencies. Now we know we have to make use of upper limits in case of LCF. Below upper limits, as the upper limits are 4.5 here, below 4.5, 9.5 is the upper limit here, below 9.5. Now upper limit is 14.5, that's why below 14.5. 19.5 is the upper limit, below 19.5, and 24.5 is the upper limit, below 24.5. I told already how to find less than cumulative frequency. Simply the frequency and LCF are same for the first class interval, thus we copy 2 here. For the next one, 2 plus 6, 8. Next one is 8 plus 10, 18. 18 plus 5, 23. 23 plus 3, 26. In this way, you can find out the less than cumulative frequency, and so we get the distribution of less than type cumulative frequency. Now we will represent this data on a graph. Now take upper class limits on x-axis in the respective cumulative frequencies on y-axis, and you have to plot the points 4.5 to 9.5, 8, 14.5, 18, 19.5, 23, 24.5, 26. And this is the graph. On this graph, the scale we have taken is on x-axis 1 cm is equal to 5 units you have taken. On y-axis 1 cm is 5 students you have taken. Now you plot the point 4.5 comma 2. Start from origin, move to 4.5 and 2 units of force. This is the 4.5 comma 2. Similarly, you can plot the remaining points on the graph. Then join these points with freehand. Here you have to join this last point 4.5 comma 2 with the origin, because as minus 0.3 is continuing till 0, as the class has started from 0, you have to join this with the 0. Now this is also a rising curve. The curve so obtained is a smooth curve, which is called as less than OZU. You can see this is also a rising curve. Therefore, when we are drawing an OZU of any type, make sure the classes are continuous. Let's just do one more problem. Now both less than and more than OZUs for the following distribution. Now we have to draw both less than and more than OZUs. That means we have to prepare both less than and more than cumulative frequency distributions. Now clearly class intervals are continuous here. I can prepare the cumulative frequency distributions. And this is the cumulative frequency distribution table of both less than type, more than type. I am preparing in one table. Now class intervals in the first column, respective frequencies in the second column. Now in case of LCF, less than type cumulative frequency distribution, we have to make use of upper limits. That's why the upper limits are 5, 10, so on to 50. Copy the upper limits here and find the respective cumulative frequencies. Okay, that is copy 2 here, frequency of first class interval and its less than cumulative frequency are the same. So copy 2 here. This one is 2 plus 5 is 7, and these two you get 7 cumulative frequency. Now 7 plus 16 you get 13, 13 plus 8 you get 21, 21 plus 10 you get 31, 31 plus 25 56. In this way you can calculate the remaining cumulative frequencies. Similarly, the same table I am constructing more than type cumulative frequency distribution also. In this case I have to make use of lower limits. Therefore, copy the lower limits here, as the lower limits are 0, 5, 10, 20, so on 45. Copy the lower limits here. Now you have to find greater than cumulative frequency from bottom onwards. You have to find from the bottom onwards. For the last class interval, the frequency and the greater than cumulative frequency are the same. Let's copy 2 here. To find the next greater than cumulative frequency, find the sum of 2 and 4. That is 6 here. Next one, 6 plus 18 will get 24. Now 24 plus 20 will get to 45. Now 44 plus 25 will get 69. In this way, you can find the remaining rather than cumulative frequencies also. But what we did is, as you have to construct both less than and more than values on the same graph, we prepared both less than type and more than type cumulative frequency distributions in the same table. Now let us represent this data on a graph. Let us represent this data on a graph. Okay. Plot the points A52, B107, C1513, D2021, E2531, F3056, G3576, H4094, I4598, J5000. Here we get these points by using upper limits and the respective cumulative frequencies. And plot these points on the graph. Okay, we will get a rising curve. This is the rising curve, which is called as less than equals to. Then in the same graph, plot the points. Okay, A1 0 100, B1 598, C1 1094, D1 1576, E1 2056, F1 2531, G1 3021, H1 3513, I1 46, and J1 45 2. Again, join these points on with a free hand. The curve obtained is the required more than usual. This is the more than usual, which is a falling curve. It is falling downwards. It's a falling curve. Whereas less than usual is a rising curve. In this way, we can represent both the values on the same graph. Therefore, in this class, what we have learned? We have learned what is meant by value, which is nothing but the graphical representation of cumulative frequency distribution. We learned it. Now we learned about the different types of values, namely less than value and more than value. How to construct values? What are the different steps we have to follow in the construction of either less than value or more than value or both on the same graph we have learned. In the next class, we will learn about applications of values. Thank you.